What are the odds you'll be involved in some kind of violent act within this next week? George Gerbner, the founder of Cultivation Theory, would say that the answer could have more to do with how much TV you watch, as opposed to the actual risk you will face throughout the week.
According to Bridget Nakos, cultivation theory starts with the idea that people who watch television for many hours a day think differently about social reality than people who rarely or never watch. There are heavy television viewers, which is described as 4 or more hours of TV a day, and light viewers, which is 2 or fewer hours a day. The theory says heavy TV viewers will see the world as more dangerous than those who with occasional or light viewing habits.
So what is violence? Cultivation theory would say dramatic violence is an overt expression of physical force, compelling action against one's will on pain of being hurt and or killed, or threatened to be so victimized as part of the plot. Research says we'll watch 13,000 violent deaths on TV before we even graduate high school. People who watch TV frequently are more likely to be influenced by messages from the world of TV, and that their views and perceptions of the world start reflecting what they see and hear on television. Therefore, television is a huge influence on the way that people see the world and can shape their immediate social reality.
In an article written by George Gerbner himself, he says cultivation analysis begins with the message system analysis identifying the most recurrent, stable, and overarching patterns of television content. These are the consistent images, portrayals, and values that cut across most types of programs and are virtually inescapable for regular and especially for heavy viewers. Basically, we're cultivating a particular worldview.
According to James Potter, George Gerbner assembled a research team to help him conduct a series of empirical tests of his system of explanation. By the 1970s, other media scholars were attracted to the idea of cultivation, and within 4 decades, the cultivation literature grew to well over 500 published studies. The major finding of cultivation theory is the discovery of cultivation differential, which is the percentage given the television answer within comparable groups of light and heavy TV viewers. Gerbner claims that there is no before television condition, and his surveys revealed 3 beliefs.
Number 1, there is a positive correlation between TV viewing and fear of criminal victimization. This means that people who consume more TV on a regular basis than others are more likely to think that they will be the victim of crime. Statistically, people with heavy TV viewing see their possibility of victimization as 1 out of 10. Light viewers see their possibility as 1 out of 100, but the real statistical probability is more like 1 out of 10,000. Number 2 is the perceived activity of police. According to Gerbner's research, he has shown that people with heavy TV consumption believe that 5% of society is involved in with law enforcement. They also believe that cops draw their guns almost every day, which isn't accurate. Number 3 is the general mistrust of people. Those with heavy viewing habits are suspicious of others and other people's motives. Gerbner called this mindset mean world syndrome.
This theory can also be applied to video games. According to Dimitri Williams, the theory predicts that the more time a player spends in a video game, the more they would come to see the world through its imagery. To paraphrase the original theory, heavy video game players would come to see a video game version of the world. If the game is violent, players should perceive the real world as generally violent as well. This theory shows us that while watching TV can be good and can help you learn more about the world, we should also be critical of what we see. The point that this theory makes is that viewing the same types of images, opinions, and ideas can distort our reality. And since media does not accurately portray real life, we, as consumers, must vary our viewing sources so that our perceptions do not become distorted. The theory also states that people should not rely solely on television for their media, since it leads towards other social downfalls, such as depression and a sense of isolation.
Oh my god, this is so scary. The world is such a mean place. Maybe I should just stay here forever.